Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little different than what I usually do, only because we had witnessed firsthand last weekend about some heckling and some bullying, things like that. Just wanted to go over a few things about that. Please leave your comments below, opinions, things like that. I read them all, good, bad, doesn't really matter. Let's just dive right into it. Over the weekend, me and my friends went out to gun range, have some fun, fire a couple of our weapons. Now, me and my buddies own several different types of handguns and rifles, shotguns, and things like that. By all means, I am not a gun expert. I do train regularly. I am an avid shooter. It is a sport for me. I have a lot of fun for it. Me and my friends always have a good time. So last weekend, while we were at the range, we had a gentleman there that was heckling one of our friends, making fun of one of my friends for owning a certain type of handgun. Oddly enough, we all own the same handgun. We all bought them at the same time because one of them bought them. He said it was good. We use them as truck guns, backup guns, boat guns, whatever. And of course, we're talking about the most disgusting, unreliable, cheapest gun ever made, the Hi-Point C9. The weapon is cleared safe. There's no magazine in the weld. We're just going to go over a few things with it. So over the weekend, as we were at the range, gentlemen saw the C9 on my friend's table. Didn't notice the Gen 4 Glock or the Ruger SR9 that he owns. He zoned right into the C9 Hi-Point and started to make comments. After speaking with the gentleman, we had a great conversation with him. We asked him if he wanted to fire it to see what it was like. He's never touched one, never actually seen one till now. But he's heard reviews and he's watched some YouTube videos about how terrible they are and decided to make comments. So after hesitation, he did fire it because, little disclaimer, Glock owners are not allowed to hold anything other than a Glock. The Glock community frowns upon that, I guess. So he did fire, hit his target wonderfully. He was a very good shot. I do give him that. I know you're probably watching because I gave you the link to my YouTube channel. I told you I'd be posting this. After it was all said and done, he was leaving. He stopped us and said, "Hey, I guess they do work, ha ha ha," and walked away. I can tell you that they do work. We own different types of firearms. My favorite that I own is actually the Beretta 92. It is one of my favorite weapons. I've trained with it. I've used it in the field, and it's my favorite. I do have 4 magazines for the Beretta, each 15 rounds. They're high cap mags. The Hi-Point C9 comes in a ugly cardboard box, and it comes with one mag, one single stack, 8-round mag. 8 rounds is enough. If you train well enough, if you take the time to practice, you have great ammo, your weapon is maintained, cleaned all the time, it will function. Mine, I keep in my Explorer. I have 3 magazines that I have for it. They work really well. I don't have any problem with it. Again, it is a backup weapon, truck gun, boat gun, whatever you want to call it. Several of my other friends own higher end firearms, even Glocks. I'm not a Glock guy myself. I've owned one before. I didn't like them, so I got rid of it. It just wasn't for me. Not saying that they're bad. It just wasn't for me. Not saying that I'm an advocate for the Hi-Point community and saying, hey, they're the best things ever made. That's not what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is supporting everyone that could only afford to buy a $150 firearm to protect their family and protect their property. Yeah, by all means. It's better than having nothing. You know, it does work. I only have about 500 rounds through mine. I'm not going to lie and say I have 10,000 rounds through it and it works every time. That's not what I'm about. I'm about being honest to you guys and giving you guys fair reviews. I did have some hiccups during the break-in process. I fired about 100 rounds through it when I first got it. It doesn't like 115 grain ammo. It doesn't. It doesn't like cheap ammo. I fire Federal Hydroshocks through it now, and they work perfectly. It is a blowback weapon, so it has to have a little kick behind it, and I don't have a problem. All my weapons have Hydroshocks in them. I love Hydroshock. That's my preference. It's a great round. I advise them. Hornady Critical Defense round is also a great one too. The Glazer Safety Slugs, I also have those. They work really well. So, again, for the Beretta, it is a double stack, 15 round mags. The Hi-Point, they're only 8-round mags. I have 3 of them. I picked 2 extras up at a gun show for 10 bucks a piece. So, with the gun and the mags, I'm in 170 bucks. I went out and bought a holster as well. I don't like the Walmart nylon specials with the Velcro. I don't like that. That's not my thing. So all my firearms, I have Phobos holsters for them. It's a high impact plastic. They work really well, and they're not that expensive at all. People think they are. They're not. They just look expensive. Firearm goes in, locks in. That's pretty much it. It's very easy to operate and use. The firearm itself, it is a beast to take apart if you want to strip it down to clean it. So there's other tutorials on YouTube about that, how to do it, how to clean it, how to maintain it. I've done it several times. It's not my favorite. It's not as easy as my other firearms, but it's a truck gun. It stays in there. I take it out to shoot it at the range, clean it, and I put it back. The Heckling. It's kind of silly to me. It's just silly. You're making fun of somebody because they purchased it. He can afford the Glock. He has a Gen 4 Glock. He has an SR9. He does have some other weapons that do cost a little more money. It's silly. The Heckling, it was just funny to us, and we wanted to educate the gentleman rather than, you know, try to gang up on him and get upset about it. There's no point to get upset about it. People have different preferences. People love Glocks. Hey, that's your thing. Cool. Good for you. People love the HKs. Excellent weapons. I can't afford to have one, so I don't. You know, it doesn't matter what firearm you actually go out and purchase. It's all about keeping yourself and your family, your property safe. So if all you can afford is a $150 high point, I'm not going to bash you for that, man. I'm going to congratulate you and say, hey, you're doing something. You're being part of the cause, you know, joining the community, the firearm community. You have your rights. You're owning a firearm. You're stepping up and protecting yours. For that, I'm going to give you nothing but love. I just wish everybody did, you know. So with that said, you know, it is a blowback weapon. It's 8 rounds. It is heavy. It is bulky. You're not going to want to carry it for long periods of time. It does weigh a lot, you know. With the 8-round mag in it, you got good ammo. You know, you clean your gun regularly. It's going to work every single time. Especially putting it in a nice holster. It's going to be more comfortable if you're going to open carry. It doesn't matter what it is, it's going to work as long as you clean and maintain it. It's not a paperweight. It's not a piece of junk. They do work. I mean, it's the way it is. It's made in America. It's made in Ohio. They have a lifetime transferable warranty. So if anything goes wrong with the weapon, as long as it hasn't been modified, they're going to replace it or repair it. You know, repair or replace, rather. You know, no charge to you. You just send it back. They're going to do what they got to do and send it back to you functional. And for $150, where can you find a warranty for $150? It's unheard of. And again, American made. It's made right here in the U.S., giving U.S. jobs to people to produce something that's going to protect the United States and citizens. I think that's hands down, that's worth it. Even if you buy it and never use it, put it in the closet, buy it for a friend, whatever, that alone, you just contributed to American jobs. And it's no way bashing people who own Glocks or who own HKs or SIGs or Smith & Wessons. I own several different ones. Again, my favorite is the Beretta 92. Some people don't like Berettas. It's a personal choice. That's why there's so many different gun manufacturers and different models and makes of different firearms. They're not for everybody. My preference is the Beretta 92. Yeah, I own a High Point. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I own a High Point C9. It stays in my truck. I have something all the time. This does not work. Not very accurate. So I'd rather have this with 8 rounds than this if I get into a situation. So with that said, the Heckling, we thought it was cute. It was funny. We hopefully educated the gentleman. And I hope you're watching. I hope you leave a comment because I really want to hear about your interaction afterwards, what you thought, you know, about us educating you a little more. And this is for everybody out there. Watch the videos on YouTube. There's several there that will show how durable they are, how reliable they are, how many people own them. And a lot of people out there, even one of my friends, up till last weekend, has owned one. He wouldn't admit it. He doesn't tell people that because he is a diehard Glock fan. But even Glock people own them. It's a great thing to have in your car, your truck, or to give to your kid to go off to college with. They have something with them. It's not going to break the bank, but it's going to be reliable, and it's going to be dependable enough for them to take with them. You know, if they're going off to school in a different state, or they're going traveling, they're going hiking. It's a great gun to have with you. It's going to work. With that said, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not bashing any haters or anything like that. I'm just wanted to give you my opinion and my comments of it, only because I was involved in it. You know, somebody was heckling a friend of ours because of what he thought was a disgrace to the community. It turns out it's not. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making this video. If you have any questions or comments about it, again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a high point advocate. I do own one, but I'm not gonna say they're the best things in the world. They work. You know, they do work. They work fine. I've never had an issue with mine. Don't put cheap ammo in it. You know, get something that you're going to protect yourself with. Get a good holster. Buy a couple extra mags. They are out there for you. You just have to buy them. I hope this video helps somebody. Please comment below. Like, dislike. Hey, can't help the way you feel. We're all entitled to our opinions, and I do respect that. So with that said, I hope you guys check into my next video. I will be doing more electronic reviews and things like that. This is just something that I had to do because of the situation that happened over the weekend. So thank you again for joining. Till then.